Hey everyone, this is Michael with the general reading for Cancer Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus for the month of January 2020. Hello and welcome, whether you're watching this video for yourself or cross-watching for another individual with Cancer placements. I just like to start off these videos with my gratitude and thanking all of you who have supported this channel with your likes, shares, comments, and subscribes. It's because of all of you I'm able to continue putting out this content and doing this incredible work, so thank you so much from the bottom of my heart. I do have social media accounts where I am posting giveaways and offering special deals. I actually just recently had a giveaway and a sale for the holidays this past month. It was Kimber and Jesse who won personal readings for me, so congratulations to them. I will be hosting more giveaways and sales in the future, so be sure to follow me and hit subscribe if you haven't done that already. I post on all of my social media so that way no one misses out. So if you miss it out on Facebook, you won't miss it on Instagram or on YouTube, whichever. And I do also have general card readings on my Instagram, as well as blog posts, which I post on Facebook and on my website. So watch out for all of those things. Spread the love, show the love. It really does help this channel grow. And I just want to thank all of you who participated in the giveaway, and also everyone who is turning out for the sale. Honestly, I was pretty inundated, so if you're waiting to hear back from me in an email, or if you're still waiting on a personal reading, I am getting to those. I'm nearly caught up. It's been a lot with all of that, plus the holidays themselves. So kind of playing catch up here. But I am really curious to see what is coming up for you in specific Cancer. You actually came up a lot in my other readings. I kept starting readings for different signs, and I kept slipping out Cancer. So apparently I'm supposed to do you next, so there is some serious message here for you, and that's no surprise because January is going to be quite a powerful month. For those of you who are not familiar, I do actually like to start off these readings just briefly going over the astrology. I promise to try and keep it as short as possible this time. I know I've been going pretty overtime with the videos in the past couple of months, so I'll try and keep it short and sweet. If you do want to jump ahead to the reading, though, I will invite someone to leave a timestamp in the comment section down below that jumps straight ahead to the actual cards, but I do feel like the astrology and tarot often complement one another very well. I do also have an astrology forecast blog that lists all the transits and kind of gives an overview for the month. And I actually find it helpful myself. I refer to it throughout the month to kind of track the transits, so I hope you all find it useful as well. I do feel like this is going to be kind of a... 2019 was a hard year for you, Cancer. Let's start off there. It's been really rough, and I think especially in terms of relationships for you, there's been a lot of lessons, a lot of letting go, because we've had Saturn and Pluto in your opposite sign in Capricorn. It was recently joined by Jupiter, however, so there is some growth, there is some expansion, and the previous solar eclipse we had on December 26th was kind of like a nice welcome party for for Jupiter entering Capricorn, because it was actually conjunct. It was right next to that eclipse by 1 degree. So we really felt that strong Jupiter energy, and I think things are kind of swinging around. But January is feeling like the final test. January kind of feels like a final exam. That is what Saturn does. That's what Capricorn does. It's testing us. And it's very much like the father who you ask, you want a puppy, you really want this puppy, and you have to show that you're going to be responsible. Saturn's not just going to give you a puppy, you kind of have to earn it. That's also Capricorn energy, which is your 7th house, your relationships, and also just the way you relate to other people in general. There is a lot of emphasis for you there right now, because we do have an eclipse in your sign. We have a lunar eclipse on January 10th, and honestly, Cancer, I know your readings have been very heavy. And eclipses themselves can be accompanied with some unexpected or uncomfortable losses or endings. I don't want to freak you out. If you really want to know how this eclipse is going to affect you, I highly recommend looking at your specific natal chart, looking where the 20th degree of Cancer falls. If you don't know anything about your natal chart, I actually have a natal chart calculator in the description box down below. You'll just need your birth date and time, and it will draw that up for you. And as a whole, Cancer is a very sensitive sign. And when you have the moon in its native sign, because the moon rules over your sign, Cancer, there's a lot of emotional energy that is coming to the surface. And I actually see very profound healing. This is going to be a time to purge very deep wounds, especially for you, Cancer. Everything you have been going through, I just want you to like kiss 2019 goodbye, kiss 2018 goodbye, however long you've been going through this. But I know these past 2 years in particular have been pretty nasty for the collective, but especially for you, Cancer. This is a good time to release some stuff. This is a good time to purge. And maybe even doing some rituals, doing a clearing ritual, cleansing ritual. Definitely get out some sage, get out the Palo Santo, whatever it is that you do to recharge, maybe even taking a salt bath to kind of cleanse your energy, whatever that takes. Actually charging some water under that full moon and then boiling it and adding it to a bath could be very powerful, especially if you add some salt to it. But that's going to be very powerful. That is not going to be for the faint of heart, because it's going to cause a lot of things to purge that are no longer serving you. And maybe that doesn't necessarily feel good. But it's like you're letting go of the old you. That's what this eclipse is really going to be about. And that's a perfect way to start a new year and to start a new decade. So I really don't want to freak you out, but I think this eclipse is really going to hit people in a very personal way, like very internally. And honestly, Cancer, you're really going to be feeling it because, again, it's in your sign. It's your first house. It's your sense of self. Whew. Hang in there. I'm sending you Reiki right now because this is going to be some interesting energy. We do also have a conjunction with Pluto and Saturn in Capricorn. Again, all of this Capricorn energy, all of these lessons we've been going through. This is where the final exam is really taking place. I feel like it's around this time. And again, I don't want you to have like PTSD flashbacks of what has been going on for you in the past couple of years. You've been prepared for this. It's not just going to strike you out of nowhere. And I actually feel like, Cancer, you are going to be, passing this test. You are going to be growing. But it is going to be kind of a make or break moment as well. So, however that's going to apply, I think for a lot of you that actually is going to be pertaining to relationships, because again, we're talking about your opposite sign. I do feel like with this eclipse, it is also a really good time to heal family issues or trauma. Maybe some patterns that you've taken on from your family or from early childhood. This is really deep healing. And you are going to feel quite raw. But if you do this, if you're able to let this go, there are a lot of rewards that are in store for you. You're going to get your puppy. You're also going to, get whatever it was that you lost back in a way, in a form. Because that's kind of what Pluto does. Pluto will strip you down to the bone. And it will take and take and take. And if you rise above, if you take your power back, Pluto will give everything it took away and then some. Even better. You'll be even in a better place than you were before you lost those things. So it's not all doom and gloom. But I'm not going to lie, the first half of January especially is going to be a pretty hard-hitting time. But honestly, I really feel like, Cancer, this is the perfect time to purge all of this weight you've been carrying, because I know you've been carrying a lot. We have been feeling it for a long time. And then we do have the Aquarius new moon on the 24th, which, I was talking about the eclipse last month being a great time to manifest. This is also a really good time to manifest because Aquarius is the, it's the 11th house. It naturally rules over the 11th house, which is our friendships, our social networks, our social support. But in a more spiritual essence, it's the way the universe supports us. And Aquarius can be very auspicious. That 11th house is the only master number in the entire house system. That repeating number, that 1-1, the 11. And that 11 is very auspicious for manifesting. And really creating miracles. Bring in that future Write it down like it's already happening to you. Do something on that new moon, because you are going to be feeling a little bit raw, but there's the potential to create a very bright and beautiful future for yourself. And that's actually going to be coming in your... How is that affecting you? Sorry, 1 second. Doing the math here. That is your 8th house. And that's really... That is a good time for like joint finances. But it's also a good time for you to claim your power and to really step into that. Honestly, Cancer, I feel like we've been going through a little bit of a victim cycle for a while. And I'm not saying this to make fun of you. I know a lot has happened, and it's really easy to get into this forsaken kind of mindset when you have all of this transformation, all of these lessons, and it feels like the universe is just out to get you. It's not. It's helping you rise up. It's trying to make you be able to take care of the things you really want. And you are stepping into your power. And I did promise to keep this short, so I'm not going to go any further. Again, I do have the astrology blog in the description box down below if you'd like to take a look at that. I am really curious to see what the cards have in store for you. As I'm shuffling here, I am just going to give my disclaimer that this is a general message, meaning not all of the cards that come out or all the messages that come out are going to be meant for everybody. So do keep that in mind. Some of the messages may also come in the reverse, so another person might be your own energy, or vice versa, especially if you're cross-watching for a Cancer. If you're watching on another Cancer, you could be this other person here. I do also feel like it's important for you to pay attention to your other signs as well, especially with the eclipse. Figure out your rising sign. If you don't know your moon, rising, or Venus signs, I have a natal chart calculator in the description box down below. And if this reading just doesn't resonate or you'd like greater clarity, you are more than welcome to watch for one of your other signs, or check out the Heart of the Matter love readings. Those are timeless love and relationship spreads I have on this channel. They're all in one playlist, and you can just look through whichever one pops out at you, or just go to the most recent one. I do apologize, I wasn't able to get to those last month, but I will be doing those again at the middle of this month in January. So we'll be picking things back up there as well. And I think that's pretty much it. I am going to be kind of shortening the spread here as well, because again, my videos have been getting a little bit crazy. Cancer, I feel like we actually had a 50-minute video for you. I think it was last month or in November. So I'm going to try and keep it very concise here. And I feel like a lot of the energy was a little redundant a lot of the time. So let me know if this was just more concise, if this was more clear for you. That's too many. And it wants me to keep them. Okay. We have a lot of cards for you, Cancer. We're going to try and go quickly. I make no promise. So this is energy you've kind of been working through, an energy that's going to be playing out for you, especially in the first half of January. We do have the Moon and the King of Cups in the reverse coming out together. Wow, a lot of very heavy emotions right here. You might be feeling that still. We have the Artist in the reverse. And then we had 4 cards coming out together. We have the Ten of Swords, the High Priestess, Judgment, and the Tower in reverse. Okay. So the good news is the Tower is in the reverse, but it is still showing up. This Tower card has been haunting you, Cancer. You really have been going through a big transformation, and I still feel like at the start of January, you're very much feeling emotionally raw. Think you might be very confused, there might be a lot of transition going on, and honestly, I think your emotions are a little up and down. And I feel like you're almost trying to pull away from that, you're almost trying to disconnect. This could potentially be another water sign around you as well, particularly a Pisces. Could also be another Cancer or Scorpio too with this energy, but I really feel like this is just kind of your overall, it feels like a little flooded right now, or you're just totally submerged in these really heavy emotions. And it could have to do with a water sign, or it could have to do with someone who was once very close to you, who you shared a very deep connection with. I feel like this is kind of from the past, though. I don't feel like this is something that happened in the start of January, which is funny because there is the eclipse, so you would think it would, but I'm actually feeling like this is someone from the past because we do have this Tower in reverse energy. I do feel like this is kind of referring to a falling out or a breakup that happened previously, or kind of just disconnecting yourself from some sort of connection here. And again, we do have Scorpionic energy with the Tower. This is also Aries energy. This is Mars energy in specific. So, you could have been involved with one of these individuals, but I feel like this has kind of fallen away. And with the Artist in the reverse, I feel like, honestly, this sounds kind of sad, but it's like you don't even know what happiness looks like anymore at the start of January, or you're really trying to get in touch with what that is. You're trying to get back into this dream world and really reconnect with what it was that would make you happy. I think that's changed, though, because there's been a lot of things that have been stripped clear from you and wiped away. I do feel like you are feeling the call to end something here, though, with this Ten of Swords. There is still a lot of pain with this ending, and it's almost like there's this lingering. Even though this Ten of Swords is upright, I almost feel like this guy is still moving. It's like there's these 10 swords still hanging in there, still holding on to something. And there's a big spiritual awakening that's going on for you right now, Cancer. And that's why everything feels like it's going crazy. When you're going through a big spiritual shift, when you're going through an ascension or an awakening, you become resensitized. You become aware of the things that are no longer serving you. The things that are no longer serving you, the relationships that are holding you back, they fall away. So I don't want you to feel like this is something that's happening against you. I do see this need to rise to a calling here with this Judgment card. This could be someone from the past also trying to come back. I did kind of get this lingering energy. It could be this water sign energy trying to come back in at the start of January. And honestly, Cancer, maybe you are dealing with a Pisces, this really feels like you've just been burned by this so many times. You've had so many hopes. Maybe this person even deceived you a little bit, but I definitely feel like there was a lot of hope. That when you lost it, there was a very deep wound here. And it's like, I see you, I almost see you closing this out rather than opening something up. And maybe that's the final thing you're letting go of. I'm totally seeing this eclipse here with the moon. So really take it easy on yourself. I feel like this eclipse is going to really bring up some stuff from the past to clear it out. And what you do, how you go forward, is ultimately up to your free will. But I do feel like Spirit is calling you. There is this purpose that is calling you. It's time to rise up, Cancer. It's time to embrace this intuition. The sensitivity you've been trying to shut down or that's been overwhelming you is actually supposed to be something you're following and letting guide you. But with all of this emotional intensity, it's so easy to turn away. It's so easy to try and turn it off. Things are definitely feeling very uncertain. And it's like, with this Tower in reverse, it's like the dust has kind of settled here. There's a settling of the dust here. I'm not seeing the Star, which is the card that comes after the Tower. It's like there's still this like silence before hope comes back to you. Seriously, some of you are really on a spiritual journey. Some of you are supposed to be doing spiritual work, and you are being initiated into this. That is a message I'm getting pretty strongly with the High Priestess and Judgment coming out together. And it's not been easy. And again, this feels like a very big purge for you this month. I'm very curious to see what the animal wisdom is here. What is the animal wisdom for Cancer, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus? Camel. This is an interesting card because Camel has these opposites. It is a fire card, as indicated by the alchemical symbol for fire up here. This triangle, this upward pointing triangle. But it does have the water within. It does store its water, and it's able to go vast distances and vast amounts of time. It knows the oasis is coming. It knows it will find water again, and it has faith. We can see this very calm, serene smile on this camel's face. Some of you are actually going on a spiritual journey again, and this could be quite literal. Some of you might be going on some sort of retreat or some sort of pilgrimage. If you're not, I actually want to recommend a Vipassana retreat for some of you. Vipassana, it's a donation-based retreat. It's a 10-day silent retreat. I don't think that's something you'll be doing right now, but I think it is something you're looking into the future. There is some sort of spiritual healing that you need to do, and I'd look up Vipassana meditation. Those are donation-based retreats, so you can either donate based on what your resources are, your income is, or you could actually volunteer at a following retreat as well. The only thing is you have to find the 10 days off. That's kind of the tricky thing, but everything else is provided for you. You have food, you have shelter, and you're just there meditating for 10 days. No talking, no eye contact. It's meditation boot camp. There's no writing, no music. You're literally there to meditate. But it can be very, I actually feel like for a lot of you that could be something that's very useful for you down the road. And it might not hurt to look now because those do fill up kind of quickly. But I really do feel like you are on this spiritual journey. You are on this spirit quest. That is so much of what camel energy is. It's the pilgrimage. And it's knowing that you have what it takes to go through this harsh terrain. And I feel like the peace you have available to you is within you. Don't look for peace outside of yourself. I don't think that's very abundant right now. I think you really have to connect to your own heart. If you can let out like a really big cry on this eclipse, I think that's going to be really, really helpful. Okay. So let's see. I'm very curious to see where all of this is going. Kind of looking at the second half of January now. Maybe even a little further out. Especially with these eclipse windows. You know, the eclipse energy can actually have an impact on our lives for 6 months out. And it's going to affect you pretty personally, Cancer. So I think you're really going to be feeling it. You're going through a big purge. But let's see, what is coming for my Cancers? Interesting. I feel like there's a lot of anticipation here. These cards really aren't falling out too quickly. But honestly, Cancer, based on what you've been dealing with, you have some pretty intense cards here on the table. So I feel like something has to shift here. Okay, interesting. Okay, this is a really clear message. I have the Ace of Cups, the Ace of Wands, and the Wheel of Fortune all popping out together here. The Hanged Man, and the Queen of Swords. You have some very psychic cards on the table here, Cancer. I'm seeing that very strongly with this Hanged Man. There is some sort of destiny that is calling you as well. And I know this is a general reading. I know that's a really big statement to make here. Your purpose is really calling you and calling out for you in January. And I think part of that new moon in Aquarius is going to be about you stepping into your power and claiming your purpose. I do see this Wheel of Fortune. Your luck is changing. Something is turning around. You're feeling this Jupiter energy finally. But we do have these two aces in the reverse. And I was kind of feeling like this isn't that you don't manifest something. It's that it takes time. You might feel like you make this manifestation and nothing comes through. And I really saw that when the Hanged Man came out. There's definitely some divine delays here. And it's almost like you're not ready for the thing you want here. You're trying to start here with this Ace of Cups and the Ace of Wands, this passion, this romance, this relationships, this purpose, whatever this is for you. I do see some delays here. And you're feeling a little stuck. It's like, how do I go forward? And instead of going forward, I really want you to go in. Again, I do feel like some of you are also, there is something about an end of a relationship that's going on. Some of you might be feeling a little hung up. This is a Pisces energy. I did mention Pisces earlier. Some of you may very well be dealing with Pisces energy because we have the moon. Yeah. I really feel like there's a Pisces individual. It doesn't have to be, but that's coming up a lot. This could also be referring to Pisces season. There could be this delay or this intensity until Pisces season, which isn't really too far out at this point. We're almost there. That's going to be the end of February to the end of March. There might be some sort of delay going on. But again, it feels just like a delay. It feels like this is coming. And this Wheel of Fortune has started spinning, and this is actually in your favor. It's coming at a more opportune time. You really do need to trust in the universe right now. And I think a lot of this is you gaining a new perspective. This is you really looking at your own emotions from a kind of observer-based awareness. We're not floundering anymore. We're not being flooded anymore. Sink into it. And I know that sounds so counterintuitive. Your emotions won't kill you. In fact, it's trying to run away from your emotions that will kill you. That's when you turn to addictions. That's when you turn to unhealthy behaviors. That's when you manifest illnesses because you're holding in these emotional blockages. Observe them. Be aware of them. Sit with them. Practice some Vipassana here. Literally observe your body. Where are you feeling this despair? Where are you feeling this grief? That's actually going to free you. I know that sounds very counterintuitive. Especially in the law of attraction community, I think there's a lot of people who are afraid to do this. But the reality is that these are energies that are subconscious. Most of our awareness, most of our consciousness is outside of our awareness. So we actually have these beliefs. We are actually manifesting from these feelings we're not even identifying. So it really is you looking at, why do I keep manifesting this? Why did I manifest all of this turmoil? And something is shifting. Something is changing here. This actually feels really good. I know this doesn't sound very positive. This is the end of a cycle. And kind of ending things off here with this Queen of Swords in reverse. You are cutting someone out. Or someone's cutting you out. But it's actually in your favor. And someone might... If someone's like holding something back, this is a really specific situation, but it is actually coming through for a few of you. If you're in this situation where someone is like holding back some sort of money or some sort of inheritance, I do feel like that's coming through. That actually makes a lot of sense now that I think about it, because that Aquarius energy is your 8th house, which actually does involve inheritance. So there's something about that as well. If someone's trying to hoard onto that, I don't think they're going to be able to do it forever. I think something is going to resolve there. There's going to be some sort of change. I actually see something is shifting in your daily life. And at first, it might seem like a loss. It might feel like I lost this money, and it's also kind of like that Pluto energy I was talking about earlier, where it'll take, and then once you do the transformation process that Pluto is asking you to do, it'll give back what it took, and then some. There's a bonus there. But this is the final purge. And if you're feeling stuck, if you're feeling like your circumstance is just like so out of control, you're just so trapped, you're getting out of it. I don't know how. I don't think you know how. This feels very unexpected. It might not be right away either. I'm getting a very loud ringing in my ear from that as well, which is kind of coming as confirmation. You are escaping the situation. You are getting out of this pit. Let's see. I'm going to pull one more animal card for you, Cancer. This has been quite an interesting ride. Buffalo. This card has been coming up for a few people now, right now, for this time period. And this is about just moving forward, having faith. Buffalo is this very beautiful animal that you can call on as kind of a spirit guide if you're feeling very overwhelmed. We have this bolt of lightning in the background, but buffalo isn't phased. It has this very deep, unshakable faith, and it's very grounded. It has these horns that are pointed up towards the heavens, but it's very much planted in the earth. It's a very grounded spirituality. And again, there is this spiritual energy. I really feel like some of you are going to be doing what I'm doing. Or some similar work, working in a mystical field. And you are going through this process. I can speak from experience. It was not blissful getting here. It required a lot of change and a lot of loss, and I tried to hold on to a lot of things. And in the end, it just caused more pain. So really try and let this go. Really take this opportunity to purge. This is a gift, and it might not feel like it right away, but it is a gift. And I think that's pretty much everything I'm getting for you right now, Cancer. I do hope this reading was helpful. Make sure to hit like and subscribe. Let me know in the comments down below what is going on for all of you. Let me know if you liked kind of the shorter, more concise spread, if this felt good for you. I'd love to hear some feedback, as always. And I will see you all in the next reading. Take care, Cancer. Oh, and I forgot, if you're interested in a personal reading or Reiki session, again, those links are in the description box down below. Maybe some energy healing would actually do you some good. Anyways, take care. Happy January.